The Star.
Yeah, y'all already know. Seven the pan. That dude Biz on the beat. Yeah. We live in entertainment. Sound change. Crown the kings, homie. This is where it get ill. About to have the tip off live as a tip drill. From the court to the diamond, to the track, to the big skin, flying round the field, starting five forever, keeping it real. If it matters in the world of sports, blue jeans and long sleeves, they taking no shorts. So hot to death, oh yes, these are the sports podcasts live as a pro's corpse. Biz market wave, the starting five goes off. No matter who you cheer for, emotions out the window, they analyzing with clear thoughts. They take it way deeper than the boys ever. No longer got any use for the four letters. The latest news, score stats and the view from the sideline. Ain't no guideline, it's just the truth. Yeah, no need to dig for a pardon line. It's always in season if people start five. We going in on three, run the baseline, start five. We got what you need. If the sports news you see, we don't waste time. We talking cause we live it. We got what you need. We going in on three, run the baseline, start five. We got what you need. And y'all know me, seven sign, I'm the illest cat spit. I got what you need.
This time, I know we got what y'all need, but Merca definitely didn't deliver us what we was asking for, nor what we needed. But we gonna get there.
Might as well start by drinking early.
There you go. You know who I am already. The fuck around and find out angel investor in the flesh. We're back with the newest episode of the Start 5. As always, check the sponsor, hooksrub.com, or for those who got the cameras opposite of me, even though I was pointing the right way this time, whoever's got the camera opposite of me.
You're doing it right now.
This way?
Yep.
I know, because on my screen, I'm doing it right this way, but when for y'all, pointing this way.
Tyrone's pointing the wrong way. Yeah.
Right on my screen.
Hooksrub. See, right when you just did that, he said right on my screen. When you pointed this way, it was right on my screen. But we're not arguing about that. We're trying to tell the people to go to our damn freaking sponsor. That's us to the homies at hooksrub.com. 20% off your order using the code STARTIN5.
Hey, I don't even know why we continuously point to it. If they looking at it, they can see where the hook thing is. The fuck that.
Hey, man. Hey, you gotta plug it, baby. You gotta plug
it.
According to Tyrone. Technical difficulty. Sorry. Thanks for listening as always. But TJ, what up?
What's up, y'all? What's good? I don't got much to say about this week. It's still hoodie season out here. I hope it stays this way for the rest of the year, honestly. And that's it. I'm high right now, so I'm good. Let's go.
Beautiful. Oh, beautiful. What up?
What up, y'all? I mean, I don't got a smile on my face. I'm coping. Yo, I know. The big topic is what it is today, but we got to talk about how New York is burning too, man. You know, last couple of days, man, came outside and you smell the smoke. So,
that, did smell it last night. We'll talk about that. Yeah. What up, Tyrone?
What's up? This week was rough, especially for me going to work with the union stuff and all of that. And I didn't even want to talk about, you know what I mean? And it was a lot. And then I tried to go pick up some sneakers, and Sniper was all like, no, we're closing at 6:30 today. We ain't fucking waiting for you looters, you know what I mean? It was a whole mess. I'm here now, and I'm feeling good about my immediate future. I don't know about my long-term goals, but whatever.
They said, fuck your retail therapy.
It is what it is. So, Corey?
Hey, what's up, everybody? Corey Saltitude Floyd here. Always glad to be a guest, and this week has not been the best. We have what happened in office. We have the recent loss of Tony Todd. We just had a lot going on this week. I mean, wait, let me have a little more of this.
Yeah. While you do that,
It's been rough.
we're gonna talk about the high points. We're gonna save the bad for last because you know
so
what
you
I'm
want
saying.
me to be more drinks in before we get to that part?
Yeah, which I should be drinking too. And I have a feeling I'm gonna have to drive somewhere later, but I don't know. But
Misfortune.
we're gonna start with some good shit first. If y'all saw last week's episode, it was the first tier list we did. If I wish I let me see if I could find the window. I don't think I closed it out, but it was the first tier list we did. And yes, I got it still. Cool.
Hey.
And we did the MF Doom tier list. Now, as Big O disappears already.
I'm here.
Nah, I'm fucking with you. I know. Yeah. I know.
I
This
did
was
not.
the
I didn't argue with y'all tier.
Okay, you watched it or you listened?
I watched afterwards. I didn't watch it in real time, but
okay.
I couldn't really argue with the tier. Like
well, let me finish setting the table before we get back to this. It's all right because we got to get to the brother Tyrone soon on his homework that he promised he would do. I know he's got a lot more, but I intentionally listened to all week. Take Me to Your Leader, Victor Vaughn, the vaudeville villain, and Venomous Villains. Which Venomous Villains I sent to the brothers yesterday via YouTube link because it ain't on streaming nowhere. That's one of the few albums that like I couldn't find on streaming nowhere.
I think I have that downloaded somewhere.
I know I have it downloaded somewhere too. But yo, as I'm listening to all three of these albums, remember I said last week where nothing really should have been less or could have been less than an A?
Yeah.
But it was for the sake of conversation.
Yeah.
I forgot. I like it's been a while since I heard every single fucking Doob album. Called me biased, but every one of these albums could have been listed at minimum an A. Again, I think
the Czarface.
Yeah. And every one of these albums could have been listed as an A.
You know why? Because he never put out like a whack ass album, so the bar was always high. But he knew his lane. You know what I'm saying? Right. He knew his lane, and nobody was fucking with him in his lane. Nobody was even trying to jump in his lane. And he milked the shit out of it. He milked the shit out of it, bro. It was genius.
Could it be that also he never really got pressure to come out with an album? Because that's what happened a lot of times too. You come out.
No, I think many people wanted to work with him. He didn't have no pressure. It was just like, hey, the next joint, I want to be on it or something. People was getting at this dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. When you're like that, people really do come out the woodwork to try and collab with you.
Yeah,
and he was definitely one of those.
And it's the whole because all right, for those that don't understand him from the beginning, like. When he reemerged with the Doom character, which he initially took the approach of Ghostface and tried to do a stocking, and then somebody convinced him to do the whole Dr. Doom thing. And then when you connect the dots between the loss of his brother Sub Rock, the disdain for the industry, tie it to Victor Von Doom's origins of, he was a quote unquote not really a pretty boy, but he was what he was in the beginning with KMD. Then it turned into the science experiment, scarred his face, aka the industry, and the loss of his brother and the attack on the world. It scarred his face. Put the mask on just like Dr. Doom. to take over the world.
Then the
His
industry,
villain,
the industry created his original villain origin story. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's exactly what they did. The industry created this dude's villain origin story, and that's how he became that.
Yeah.
Once
That's
a
what I was just trying to
mild-mannered
break down.
citizen turned villain and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was minding my
That's
business.
what I was
until you
trying to
niggas-
break it down.
until
Right.
you niggas punched me in the
It was
box.
just, but it was the crash of, you know, his world breaking down on him, and again, the Victor Von Doom, losing the face by way of the science experiment
Yeah.
accident, and thinking that the world did this to him
You're right.
when it was, you know, now
Did
not
too.
saying Doom shit was his fault, but the world did this to me. They took my brother away. We lost our record deal, and the record industry is a piece of shit, and whatever. So here's where I come back and exact revenge. And then the mask, a friend of his said, yo, like, why don't you go with the Dr. Doom mask? He tried to go with the OG Dr. Doom mask. And then it evolved into the Gladiator mask later, and like his whole storyline, it ties too perfectly with Dr. Doom. And you know what it was, TJ? You said he had a lane of his own. No, he was in, if you want to even consider it, close to that like nerd core because of the comic book ties, even though his shit was street nigga shit in a way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it was just worded
yeah.
differently. Like,
Yeah.
he was just
Listen.
probably one of the best at it. You know, like he was
his album Mad Ability had a lot of nerdy nuances in it. It's age, which is still, in my opinion, one of his best albums. But it is aged like a fine fucking wine. But it was a lot of nerd bits in there for me, little bits.
well, every part of it, every I mean, Operation Doomsday. Oh, he had Talib on the Danger Doom album coming out talking about talking about fucking, what do you say? How I felt when I first heard the Doom on the Scooby Doo, and you know what I'm saying? When he did that joint, Hey was just, you know
Hey
what I'm
was
saying?
I was listening to that album the other day, man. It's out of the three, my three most favorite. That's probably the album that I really haven't given much time to. Food and Born Like This is my two. Those are my top two. Those are my S. And then if I had to put, if I had to put 2 out of 3 in the S tier, it would be Food and Born Like This. And then reluctantly I gotta put Operation Doomsday in A. But yeah, man, that was, I mean, from the first song, man. You know, I find it hard to get past that first song without having that shit on repeat.
Yo, listen.
The one with
I
Pebbles.
re-listened to Born Like This the other day. That shit is fire, B. That whole album is fucking bananas. That's S tier. You need to bump that shit up, B, because the beats on that shit was wild. The beats on that shit was
it's S tier.
fire.
It's S class.
And then the storytelling on that shit was nuts, B. The storytelling on that shit was nuts. I was like, yo, if we do a hip hop karaoke again, I'm doing some shit off this album right here. This shit was fire. This shit was fire.
What was the guy's name? Charles Bukowski, or the Born Like This, Created Like This. That whole shit, like, that shit just fit perfectly with the whole. But again, the reciting of Baddie Boys last week, like that shit. Once you guys listen to it again, that shit hit differently, didn't it?
Yeah.
It's different.
That shit hit different. But I was the Vaudeville Villain and the Venomous Villain albums. Like, yo, like next time we see Lord Sear, like I specifically want to talk to him about the open mic night skits.
He's there all the time.
I know. That's why I said that.
I'm super cool with him.
That's why I said that. He's there. He's at the spot all the time. They're doing the Wu-Tang thing. No, the Doom thing on my fucking anniversary. So I can scratch that out. I won't be there. But
when next week?
Yeah, Saturday,
Oh,
Oh, I'm
the
going.
16th.
I'm going.
I think he's playing, and just make sure he plays the open mic night skits that he's on.
We will.
But we say all that to say, again, yeah, we love Doom, but Tyrone said, all right, you gave me some homework to do.
Yeah.
So how was your
Yeah.
venture into said homework?
Here's what happened with my homework. So I did the Mad Villainy album, and I was like, okay, cool. I agree. That's the S-Tier album. I was excited. Everything was good with that. But the Food is what fucked my homework assignment up, because I went through that album the first time, and listen, I didn't understand what I was dealing with right there. But the problem that occurred after that was Dan was right, man. It was a lot to go back, because I was listening to something on a whole. What the fuck? And I had to go back. So Food took up the rest of the fucking week, because I gotta figure out what this man was saying. I gotta understand his talking about. But the best part about that was, like, when he incorporated the stuff from the Spider-Man and Amazing Friends with the Doom stuff and the music and the songs from that TV show, it was like, not only did he incorporate the songs and it worked with the beats and the music, but even the skits with Doom saying certain things on Spider-Man and Amazing Friends, and it fit in right with the song, and I was just like, oh, I was too back. And I got trapped in there. It was like a Doom black hole.
If you go to YouTube, you could type in MF Doom skits or whatever, and they'll play that piece of the cartoon out. You know what I'm saying? And you can just watch that whole shit. So give it back context.
Skit where your man calls, he's like, hello, who you speak to? Doom. Who do I want to speak to? Reed Richards.
Reed Richards.
Why you answering the phone like this, dog? He said, Reed Richards, I hate nobody but you, and I'm gonna destroy you and your whole family. I don't give a fuck about nobody else. That shit had me dying.
That's why, and you know what the funny thing is? I always thought Dave Chappelle was referencing that in the Player Haters Ball. When he was like, I hate you. I don't know you. I hate you guys. I hope everything bad. It's like, it's nobody else but you.
Yo, sidebar. I don't care what nobody says, because we used to recite that shit. Player Haters Ball to me was the best Chappelle Show skit. Over Rick James, over Prince. That shit, and then especially when you go to the outtakes and see Patrice O'Neal and Dave, he said, man, your hoes look like a bag of Skittles. He said, I'd say something about your hoes, but it looks like you ate them. And the whole everybody fell out. Like that was
Patrice was on the floor for that.
He said, Buck Nasty, your watered dishwater is ready. Shit like that.
No, he said that. I don't know who you're talking about, but he said the fur coat looks like it was made out of your mama's pubic hair.
No, he said
quite chilly.
Yeah, he said, Silky Johnson's coat is made out of 100% rat ass.
Hit me, baby.
Hit me, baby.
That was the so-called beautiful talking. On weekends,
Buck Nasty had to leave early to get his mother's dishwater ready. That's what he said.
Yeah. Yeah, he said Buck Nasty had to leave because he had to go home to put more water. Said he had to leave because he had to go put more water in Buck Nasty's mama's dish.
You know what? All right, Mayor. I will concede it is the best sketch because the Charlie Murphy stories are just funny reenactments.
Yeah, it's
that is the only that is the only reason I'm conceding.
I don't know, man.
Because Charlie Murphy's stories is something that actually happened.
Oh, when the hood won the lotto, you mean?
Funny as hell too, man.
Oh, the World Series of Dice?
Yeah, the World Series of Dice.
Hold on, real quick. I actually met Rich Voss outside of the comedy club in the Village, And he said, yeah. And he spoke to me and my boy for like 20, 25 minutes. And he was like, yeah, I wasn't even in the original skit. He was like, they cut me out. And if you could do the outtakes, he's in the outtakes. He's like standing to the side and they snapping on his ass a little bit. But he was like, that was one of the most funniest fucking times I've ever been around. And he said he felt like the weak man out. He felt like he was the odd man out because he couldn't fuck with them with snapping like that. They would just they would just throw karate chops at each other crazy.
Legends, man.
When it comes to jokes,
on that shit right there.
When it comes to jokes and you don't know how to fire at the hit, don't start now.
No, you have to grow up like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I
you
grew
gotta
up
be from
like
a spot like Philly or New York.
Yeah,
because shit talking is part of the culture.
Dude. And you gotta keep that muscle pause. You gotta keep that muscle strong because I tell you, I felt like I've lost it over the years because I haven't been around everybody. No, I haven't been around my people like that. That's what it is.
My razor is sharp, boy.
Yo, but,
I'm like Goku, bro. I'm like Goku. I'm always training.
I strike without thinking, like Bruce Lee said. I just act.
But TJ though. But when keep it honest, and I'm not asking for no pats on the back. But when we are together as a crew, and I say some shit, I usually put some. It could be like if we was in a room though, we're outside. The shit usually stops everybody, and it's like I can't believe this nigga said.
Right? Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yes. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how sharp my shit used to be when I was around people.
You gotta be witty. You gotta be witty, man. You're born with that shit. You're born with the wit.
You gotta be witty, and you gotta be prepared to talk shit.
Yeah. Listen, but when you come up like back in the day, back in the day when I used to have to take the bus to and from school, the city bus, and you was on the back of the bus, the knives was out at 7:30 in the morning, dogs. And then at 2:45, and then 2:45, the big guns came out. And everybody was just blinking off at each other.
I grew up in a nice part of Queens, man. I don't know what y'all talking about, man.
Yo,
I can't speak for New York, but in Philly, you needed to be ready.
If the kids heard how we talked to each other back then, today they'd be crying. We were savages, bro. They would be crying. It would be considered a form of bullying, and this would have to stop. You can't
you know what,
to my face
Tyrone,
like that.
Tyrone, you're gonna get
faces like that.
You're gonna get it, Tyrone, right now. But listen, I'm giving it to you after this point, though. But coming soon, because this is the America that they want. Oh, the 90s is back, and niggas ain't going.
What part of the 90s?
What did TJ just mention about how niggas be crying today? If the tongue was rolling the way it used to be in the 90s. But remember what we just went through this past Tuesday and the way that these motherfuckers is running around talking now, wilding out. Oh, they want some uncensored?
They're going to get their feelings hurt.
Oh, you going to get some shit. But Tyrone, go ahead.
They're going to get more than their feelings hurt.
Y'all talking about the kids, but I'm still in that. It's fucked up with the adults too because it ain't just kids. Because I still, you know me, I love to talk shit, right? And I go to work and I talk shit at work. I'm me everywhere I go. But now I've been the sensitivity in 2 times, and I'm on my 3rd flight with that shit. You know what I'm saying? I can't even say what I want to say. But the other thing too is I always was ready for the diversion. Because sometimes you get roasted, man, you need that diversion. So I would look around first to find that kid that got on the bobos or got the fit fucked up or something wrong with him. No, as soon as somebody killed me, I could turn to that kid and be like, I know you're not laughing. You know
yo, you was the corny motherfucker. That shit. No, yo, I found that shit corny as hell.
You gotta find that next guy you can get.
Nah, that's Cornballs who couldn't take the heat did that shit. Come on, man.
Bill's character.
Listen, I was ready for your ass. If you ever
I'd be ready. Probably CEO right now.
You really tried to pass that shit off like Ah.
Yo, and the best part was is if that person was thinking right, they'd be like, nah, keep getting your ass kicked over there. Like, nah, don't put that shit on me.
Yo,
You
I was
don't
gonna
want
say,
it with me. You still getting your ass kicked over there.
What,
I was
yo,
gonna
what,
say, man, yo, the '90s. I remember fucking frozen eggs getting thrown on Halloween and batteries getting thrown. Like, y'all don't want that '90s.
Nair balloon.
yo. I remember they tried that shit with my house when I was a kid back then. And I borrowed my white friend's paintball gun for mischief night. As soon as I saw them setting up, yo, what the reload? Oh,
He was practicing for his future Call of Duty sniper position.
bruh.
Y'all know what else is cool? Y'all know what else is cool about that in the 90s, though? You know how you could go too far? You couldn't never go too far because as soon as you went too far, all the kids let you know. It was like, whoa, like the laughter turned into whoa. You know what I mean? Like everybody in the
Like,
circle
yo,
was like,
man.
whoa.
Yo, man.
Yo,
if you
man,
punch-
Phil,
If he
Phil's
punch you in
mom
the face,
died
it's
last
valid.
week.
If he punch you in the
bruh.
face, it's valid right now. Nobody's gonna be mad if he snuffs you, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, man, yo, there's, I mean, everything is too far. You have these movie directors talking about they don't want to come out with comedies anymore because everybody get their feelings hurt.
No, and because you know who's saying that? Guys who can't fucking write.
Nah, what you call this dude just came out and said that shit. What's his name?
Who?
Dude, from the director for the Joker. He did Hangover and
And Todd Phillips is a fucking hack.
God damn.
The first Joker movie was literally 2 Martin Scorsese movies wrapped in one. The King of Comedy and Taxi Driver. The only thing that was nice about the Joker movie was Joaquin Phoenix's performance and the cinematography. After that, everything else is just fucking plagiarism. Todd Phillips is a fucking hack.
Damn.
I mean, I liked Hangover and those.
we all like Hangover. Hangover is a great movie, but then he decided to make another one, and it was just like, okay, sorry. And then we got the third one.
And the Tiger.
It's just like Joker 2, a $200 million catastrophe. How do you hire Lady Gaga, a great music composer and performer, and all you have her do is a bunch of cover songs?
They thought that was genius. They thought that was genius.
I feel as though you was waiting for this you was waiting for a platform to.
Because Marry Me hasn't been uploaded in a while, so yeah, the brother needs to defend.
If you check out our website at BareMeMedia.com, you'll notice there's a lot of reviews up, and I did a very thorough review of Joker 2.
Yeah, I'm in no rush to see it.
The sequel no one asked for, and it wasn't needed, and we see why. Tom Phillips wants to talk that shit because when it comes to making an original idea, he's all fucking thumbs. Notice how I said the first Joker movie was 2 different movies put into one? Now he had to come up with an original idea, and you got shit. It's easy. Like the Hangover movie was nothing new. It was just the side effects that were new.
Same thing with Old School.
Oh yeah, Old School. Nothing. It's been done before, but what they did in it was what was different. It wasn't a new premise.
No, but they made it modern for this time.
Yeah, they made it modern. That's it.
Yeah,
Plus, Will Ferrell is hilarious by default.
Sounds like the WWE.
I don't fall into none of that. What I fall into is, listen, if you're an artist, you're a rap artist, you're a musician, you're a singer, you're a dancer, you create anything that you create that shit. Because we sitting up here talking about, oh, people going to criticize or what the world going to think about. And it's like the world, everybody going to have an opinion. Everybody think something fucked up, right? But the majority of the people, the people who talk the most shit is the minority of the people. You can make a comedy and it can be it can be fucked up, it can be offensive, it can be all of those bad things, and millions of people will go there and know that it's a movie, understand that it's a movie, it's fake, it's made for fun, and have fun watching it and enjoy your art, as opposed to the couple of assholes that's gonna be like, oh, this was offensive and I don't like it. Fuck them. You gotta be true to yourself. If you want to be an artist, be true to yourself.
Millions know that it's a comedy, but then you have tens of millions that get offended and want to do this whole cancel culture.
Or hold on, or they go like this, because I'm glad we're in this conversation, because they should have listened to what I said. You know, oh, we didn't ask for this. They should have gave us this. They should have gave us that. You know what I love to say when people start to say, yo, they should have did this. They should have did that. Man, Hollywood should have gave us this. If you have fingers and you have at least the notepad on your phone or a maximum Microsoft Word, write the shit you want to see yourself.
Yeah,
Do
put
it
it right on Tubi and put it right on Tubi.
All the fucking tools in the world to do everything that you're complaining that Hollywood didn't deliver for you. Oh, I didn't want to see this. Oh, they should have gave us this in this game and this and that game. You don't need millions of dollars to do it. If you can make time and pay for the programs to build the stuff and learn it, do it your damn self.
I understand, Dan, but they do have a heavy recycle culture in the movie game. They're always remaking some shit from the 10, 15 years. Nobody wants to see this shit again. There's no new spinner. There's movies that they remaking that should never be remade. Like, what the fuck are we doing? You can't be that lazy. That can't be that lazy, man.
Like, recently, there was a remake of Salem's Lot available on Max.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, the movie is okay. It's passable. What carries it is the black kid that's the main character. Because the black kid was doing just about everything we would want the main character to do.
Okay.
His homie turned into a vampire. He was like, damn, I gotta kill James. He's telling his parents that a vampire is going to try and come to the door, and the doorbell rings. Yo, what are y'all doing? Stop. You just see him running out the house. He was like, damn. He came back. He was like, I got to put a stake in mom and dad just in case they change. Like,
damn.
Like my man was on his I grew up to become Blade energy. But ironically, Salem's Lot has been adapted 3 different times. And I think a lot of people don't even remember the last time. It actually happened in 2004 and it starred Rob Lowe.
Nope, didn't see that one.
Yeah.
I think I saw the first one was like in the 80s, right?
The first one was a mini series. You are correct.
Yeah, that's the one I saw. I don't know what the second one was. I think I might have saw it, but I'm not sure.
Is that so? You said Rosemary's? That's Rosemary's Baby, right? Is that
no?
Is that...
Salem's Lot.
Salem's Lot. Rosemary's Babies are
no one has remade Rosemary's Baby. And I don't think anyone wants to.
Nah, that wouldn't even be appropriate right now. People would be bugged the fuck out.
Say, with everything going on right now, that would be the dumbest ballsy move, but a dumb move.
Yeah. You wouldn't want to do that right now.
You'd have. I'm sorry. Yes.
Ain't nobody remaking Human Centipede.
When you talk about, well, they got a new one coming out. Human Centipede got a new movie coming out.
Get out of here.
I refuse to watch that shit.
I thought they jumped. Nah, TJ. The second one is like the real, actual, scary, crazy one. The first one was like, holy shit, I can't believe somebody made this. The second one was the real deal dark one.
They
And
had
not
a
just
budget.
because, not just because, no, it was black and white, so the budget is questionable. But the darkness in the level of the humans, it was dark. The third one was to jump the shark, and that's
The
why
black-
it's
the black and white is to make it digestible.
But even still, pause on the digestible. But even still,
You know what I mean when I say digestible.
You just, you could
We,
watch it.
we did not have to pause that.
no, because only because of it just goes with the movie. Because
No,
digesting
they always do
human
that.
centipede, digestion tract, the whole thing is to try to make one long digestion tract.
No,
Like,
I gotta
Wait,
start calling him
let's be
dirty.
the question.
I gotta start calling him dirty Dan, because some of his pauses, he be on a level of pause that we ain't even thinking about, man. Like his mind goes real dirty. Sometimes he be like pause, and I have to go back and be like, wait, that was a pause moment. And then I'm like, no, he can't.
but
You
sometimes the pause is just to say pause, like pause on the comment, not New York pause all the time.
I get you.
You know what I'm saying?
Lisper, you had a question?
Yes. The question is, I know that we say like we want original stuff, we want original programming, people can't come up with original stories. But I mean, like with all the movie and all of the and all the cinema and everything that we take in, right, that's got to be extremely hard. Like just think about the Marvel. Just think about if you were asked to come up with a new comic book character. How hard would that be considering all the powers and all of the comic book characters that are out? So it ain't that simple as just saying, hey, I can come up with an original idea, man, because it's kind of like everything's kind of been used.
Ooh, I got something for that one, Corey.
As I am a critique of things, I am also a creative. So I do understand where you are coming from. But with that being said, there's also something to be said for putting in the creative effort when it comes to telling stories, or in some cases, retelling stories we've already seen. A perfect example would be the current adaptation of Anne Rice's Interview with the Vampire. It's been changed into a television series. And despite the original film being one of my personal favorites, the writing and thought that went into this series literally trumps the original interpretation. And it also leads a lot of nuance in us telling us more about the narrators of the story.
But you can do that in the series. Oh,
I was gonna say that.
You can't condense
But
that
I'm just
into a movie. You know what I'm saying? It's very hard to condense that into a movie.
Would you like me to use two movies with the same thing?
It was like Lord of the Rings or something like that.
Now, Lord of the Rings is a adaptation of a very dense book series.
Yeah.
So the adaptation that we got was more than enough. But then you had an awkward moment where they took The Hobbit and stretched it out to 3 movies when it actually all could have been told in one.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So, and to offer what Tyrone was just mentioning too, because I do agree. Like I do say, and we're gonna get to Jamal, which what's up, good brother? But
What's up,
the one filmmaker here, but it is difficult to try to craft your own, because like I don't draw like I used to do when I was younger, but like I sit here and sometimes I'm trying to think of characters and things like that, and say on a comic book level, and yes, it feels like every kind of power you thought you was coming with originally has been done, but then it turns into like Corey just said, and TJ added on to the points, and O added on. It's what do you do with said powers? You know what I'm saying? Because like The Boys, like I still haven't started that, but I'm familiar with who Homelander. Calm down. I'm familiar with who Homelander is. Which everybody was just like, He's like a Superman, whatever, but asshole. You know what I'm saying? But asshole. Not directly. I'm just kind of.
I'm just gonna let you keep going, sir.
I'm not.
Let him cook.
You haven't
Let him
dived
cook.
into it. You haven't dived into it, so there's no need for me to add in because I want you to experience it.
Yeah, I'm not like everybody else that jumps on shit just because it's hot within the zeitgeist at the moment. I gotta watch shit and get into shit when I'm ready. You know, I've always been that way. But like I said, just on some familiarity shit, or even if you stay in DC, you got Superman, you got fucking Shazam, you got all these people that fly. But what do they do with said flight? You know what I'm saying? What do they do with said powers from the sun? What do they
Black
do
Adam,
with
shit,
yeah? So that's what I mean. It's like you. This is where the creativity has to come into play, and even still, like we said, especially within Hollyweird, sometimes the creativity just matches some things one for one, and it's just somebody can't tell the story the same. You know what I'm saying? Like it's hard. It is hard to be original. It's very hard to be original.
Or in some cases, some motherfuckers just get mad when someone else tells the story better.
Yep.
Because in recent news, now I'm not sure if you guys saw. I saw Alien Romulus.
Yes. That movie was fire. That movie was fucking fire. And they paid homage to the original Alien movies. It was fucking awesome. I can watch that shit 100 times, bro.
Ridley Scott says now he wants to come back and do another Alien movie himself.
You know, he wants to do the Covenant. He wants to extend the Covenant trilogy. I was reading that. And he said that could that could be better than Alien Romulus. I'm like, stop it, dude.
No.
You're just hating. You're just hating right now.
Jamal, in that case, sometimes like, you might have sparked the fire in the originator, but maybe sometimes the originator should take their cues and be like, you know what, new generation.
I'm about to say he
killed that.
This man got Denzel Washington and Pedro Pascal carrying a movie on their back right now. So because ain't nobody need no fucking sequel to Gladiator.
I don't know. It's gonna do well in the box office.
Will it though? Because mind you, he's already batting right now. He's batting 0 for 2 for in movies. Ridley Scott's put out 2 films, both of them bombed.
Which was the other 2?
Jamal.
One of them was The Last Night.
Oh, that was trash.
Yeah, because at Christmas time, no one really wants to go to the movies about a ye old sexual assault involving Adam Driver and Matt Damon.
What about the Egyptian movie?
Can't hear you, Jamal.
Say that again.
I know he came out with some Egyptian movie with Gerard Butler.
He also did Napoleon, which also bombed.
Yeah,
also Gucci, which didn't do well.
I don't think Gladiator. I don't think Gladiator is going to do well in the box office. I don't think so. I think it's going to be a big flop. I watched the previews. And I'm not interested. Even with Denzel and even with what's going on, it just didn't. Gritty. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you, but I'm gonna have to disagree because the Denzel in Gladiator 2 has already really hit the zeitgeist. I've seen 20 people cosplay as this character before the movie even comes out. So
Jamal, you might have to reconnect.
People going to see it with Pedro Pascal and
I hear
Denzel.
him.
I heard him too, but he came in real raspy. It came in real raspy via the connection.
Okay.
But yeah, to what you said though, Corey,
I don't like
gotta watch
Pascal
it
in anything but Joel from Last of Us. Okay.
Nah, man. Man.
That's 22.
Listen,
yeah, you got it.
First off, we all know
okay,
that
cool.
role that role has a timer on it now.
Yeah,
So,
but still, Pedro Pascal been killing it lately, man.
Pedro Pascal is good in
I
whatever he does.
he's
I like
decent.
Mandalorian.
In The
I like
Last of Us,
Mandalorian
he's
too.
crazy. He's crazy.
Pedro,
Game of Thrones, he's
Pedro
crazy.
Castel is
Yeah.
Pedro Castel is currently the Latin version of Chadwick Boseman. He had been putting in the work for years. He's been in the foreground and background of some of your favorite stuff, and now he's reaping the benefits.
Maybe it's because he's about to play Reed Richards, and I just don't know how that's gonna happen.
Your man's
He'll be
again
fine,
with
dude.
another big ass
Man.
franchise.
Man,
Marvel
his
and
skill
now
set
Star
is so
Wars.
good. It don't
Bro,
matter. He'll be fine.
yeah, man.
Reed Richards ain't no stretch. If Ben Affleck played Batman and killed it,
Reed
Pedro Pascal.
Richards does stretch.
That's true.
He's proved himself. He's
And
proved himself.
I like Ben Affleck as Batman.
Yeah, he
still
was
think
good. He
he's fine
surprised
as
me.
He was
Batman.
decent.
He surprised me
decent.
at that, you know.
He was decent. The writing behind it was shit, but Pedro Pascal, we've seen him as a face, we've seen him as a heel, so he'll be fine.
As far as Ridley Scott and movies like Gladiator are going now because the way the system is set up is they don't want anything unproven. They want already proven IP, intellectual IPs and franchises. That's all they're going to put their money into because their algorithms for these hedge fund guys can predict somewhat how much money they're going to make. So they are afraid to take a chance on anything that's experimental or risky. So, you know, we've been in this cycle now of prequel, sequel, reboot, spinoff for about a good 10, 11 years. And there's no sign of that discontinuing right now as the amount of as actually there's less productions happening now, at least from the industry. And it's rebalancing itself as where it's, you know, as to where they're going to go, because they can't continue to fund films and television the same way they've been doing because it's failing. And a lot of these companies have combined, these studios combined and just created own everything and created a whole bunch of shit.
So those
Hey,
smaller
JG.
studios like
JG.
A24 and like New Line
A24 is
and-
putting out good shit. You know what A24 is? A24 is the Miramax of our era without Harvey Weinstein.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's dope. That is dope.
what to say?
That's dope.
That's what
That's
A24 is.
That's bars
Yes.
right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
That's bars.
exactly what I was about to say.
Yes.
That's bars.
But JG,
Yes, sir.
What's
based on what I just found out that the recent
Hold on. One at a time. Questions.
Sorry,
Tyrone, go ahead. Then Corey.
sorry.
Jamal, based on what you just said, right? I'm trying to wonder because I'm a huge Nightmare on Elm Street fan, right? And
You
based
say
on
you a
what
huge Young MC fan? Sorry.
Hold on a second. That shit literally just reminded me about an hour ago when my kids was going about a video they saw somebody saying that they tried to re-sing the alphabet. And he just sounded like the Elemental P part.
My bad. Go for it.
Number the L Street.
Hey, yo, enough. But anyway, my question is this though. What do you think is the problem with the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise? Because I'm hearing that nothing's going on with it and nothing's going to come back out and they're not going to do it because the Wes Craven's estate is asking for way too much money for the licenses to use that franchise. But based on your theory, it's like, so they're not willing to reboot that or not willing to go back into that because they're saying that the reason why it's not continuing on, they're not doing anything with the franchise because Wes Craven's estate wants way too much money for it.
That could probably be it, but it depends on who's saying they want way too much money. What's way too much money if your people's created that?
I'm
saying?
talking about the.
No.
But I'm talking about the.
No, listen to how he said that. Say that again.
So it's way too much money if your people's created that. It's because the studios and a lot of these folks, man, that's those strikes that just happened, all that stuff. It's all about them trying to give creators less and less and less and less and less. So Imagine what they want, how they feel about the descendants of people who created works that that have passed on. You know, so it's probably they just probably don't want to pay a fair share for it.
And
In my honest opinion, there's no way that's going to stop. It'll come back. At some point, somebody will reach somebody's number, and it'll come back.
Maybe it'll come out of the boom house.
JG, can I tag in?
I say
Yeah.
I want to add something too. Then go ahead, Corey, because
Go ahead.
as creators, you have the right to set your value at what you want.
Yeah.
So if that family owns they can do what they want, when they want, how they want. I want this amount of money. You can't give it to me. You can't use it. Perfect example. Eric Sermon, we all know, paid $1 million for that damn Marvin Gaye sample. And lucky for him, it made probably 2, 3, 4 times as much.
Yeah,
I was about to say they undercut themselves, boy.
But at that time, $1 million sounded like holy shit. That's a lot of money for a damn sample.
Yeah, for a sample, not even a song. You know what I'm saying?
But it took off. You, as the IP owner, set your value on what you think is fair.
But yeah, so that's
now to tag in. Now the problem is that the studio is too afraid of the risk because of the amount of money they're asking. Because of course, we all, if you're hip to Hollywood, you know that the whole deal with Hollywood with horror movies making money is because the budgets are normally low. Right. But of course, if you have a franchise juggernaut like Nightmare on Elm Street was, you might have to pony up a little bit more money. It's a bit because it's worth the risk if the writing
pay for itself
matches the energy.
It's going to pay itself off.
It would come down to the writing, because it has to come down to the writing. And
that's you choosing the right people to make that happen. You got to like people who are fans of the franchise who are good writers. You know what I'm saying?
And that's a problem within itself, because right now we're in an industry where we see certain writers failing, but they keep giving them high profile work. I just read out of Variety that literally Simon Kinberg might be writing and directing the next Star Wars franchise, and he wants to revamp the Skywalker saga. Now, if you don't know this guy's name, this is the guy who wrote X-Men The Last Stand and then wrote and directed X-Men Dark Phoenix.
Oh, trash.
Okay,
Trash.
so with that, Corey,
somehow they're still giving him high-profile work.
Yes. With that, Corey, now we talk about the other side of it. Why it's failing? It's because of the nepotism. They will rather fail with the people they know than give somebody else a fair shot.
You are
more qualified, probably.
They would rather buy your shit from you than give you that stuff, because even when movies fail, they found a way how to make money off it themselves personally, right?
Right.
And so a perfect example of that is, and I hate to do that, I don't want to rip the Band-Aid off, we're going to do that, is Star Wars. It's Kathleen Kennedy. It's Kathleen Kennedy. Good for her. She may be a good suit and a good exec, but okay, if everything you've been doing for the last 9 years has been failing and you're the face of it, it's you.
Yeah.
You're in charge. It's you.
Yeah, it failed in your watch.
Murder the Skywalkers. How you murder the Skywalkers?
I wrote a review. Review for Star Wars Visions, and I was like, one of Star Wars saving grace was literally outsourcing for Star Wars Visions.
That shit was fire.
It's not like she didn't do anything good on her watch. Like, I'm gonna drop this and I'm gonna let you go, Dan.
Kathleen Kennedy and J.J. Abrams,
right.
Worst combo ever.
So that trilogy was great. The first one J.J. Abrams did, okay, it was decent. It was just a rehash of A New Hope. Bam.
It was poorly made saltwater taffy.
Ryan Johnson came in there, and that's when shit went downhill. And then they brought back J.J. Abrams and made it even worse. Now,
I'm
the
gonna,
two.
I'm gonna defend Ryan Johnson because at least he tried something different.
That's fine. You can try, but you can't fail. If you fail, you fail. That was the person. That was the thing. Yeah, right. And I understand it, and I hear a lot of people say that about Ryan Johnson. But I said I get it. That's cool. But you can't try and fail. You still have to make something good, and that's when it started to unravel. Now, the two side movies outside of the chronological order of Star Wars.
Yes.
Fucking Solo and
Rogue One,
God.
baby.
Rogue One. Rogue One was the best shit they've done.
Get the guy who did Rogue One and give him the keys to the kingdom, bro.
Woo.
AKA
keys to kingdom.
AKA the real Suicide Squad.
There you go. There you go. And you know how dope Rogue One is? Even Andor is dope.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched Andor, that's the best. I said, that's Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's Star Wars.
A scene where we already knows what happens to the main character.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that everybody's saying. Take this as devil's advocate or not, right? We're using this word. We're using this word of failure. And funny, you mentioned Paul Heyman. We're using this word of failing, right? Right. The WWE at one time was failing. But you know that the one correlation with all of these IPs that we're talking about, we're still going to run to them anyway. So did they really lose? Yeah. No. They lost us in our emotions and how we are tied to the product. But did you still go put money in their pockets?
Yeah, because we're always gonna be faithful to the Lord, man.
And they did it, so they didn't lose, is what I'm trying to say. They lost us. They're exactly.
Done,
and so here's the other point. Corey, chill for a second. You've been we allowed you to breathe a lot so far. Too.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. It's all good because you bring in knowledge to the game, and that's what we want. But you know what I'm saying? Like, we're saying they failed or whatever, right? And when they come out with new things, we are going to still pull up and see if they righted their wrongs and what we think is wrong. You know, you get what I'm saying? So business-wise, capitalist America, they didn't lose because they still made money. But emotion-wise, they failed us. For, you know, like I said before, they didn't give us what we wanted. Nigga, go write it yourself. But then you got to be put in the right positions to be able to pitch it. But then it goes back to what Jamal said before, the nepotism of it all. Are you in the family already or are you not? And then they're going to buy from the people that they know, even if it's shit, because, hey, you know what? I don't like that spinner belt as a fan. You know what? I don't really like the spinner belt.
Whose job is it to find new talent, Dan?
We're the WWE. They're still going to come buy the new spinner belt. They're still going to come buy it. You know, this is what I'm saying. It sucks. It sounds bad, but it's the truth.
You got to incorporate new talent sometime. When does that happen? When does that happen? Because there's going to be a transition period, and the old got to go, bro. The old has to go.
This is the beauty about new media that we're in now, because we don't have to run to the freaking Hollyweird no more. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why, hate them or hate them, which we all hate them. There's a reason why the Paul brothers are as famous as they are. There's a reason why Kai Cenat is killing it now. Like the young boy is killing it.
Yeah, he's doing commercials now.
You know what I'm saying?
He's like doing like big shit.
There's a reason why Mr. Beast can give away millions and millions of dollars, because why the media game is totally different now, to where you don't need the gatekeepers no more. But for instance, like a little old podcast like this that's been next year makes 10 years, you still need supporters behind you. And we kept going without the supporters. Fuck them.
I love the Paul brothers.
Fuck them in the ear. Fuck them in the other ear.
Wow.
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 The Paul
Okay.
brothers cool with me, man. They do what they want to do, and they're successful in what they do. They can wrestle,
No,
box, whatever they want to do. Like,
I've been to Japan. I've been in the Suicide Forest. Fuck them.
Damn.
I see
Yeah.
that
My
part
daughter.
I didn't know about. I'm not too knowledgeable about that. I just know that
Google
they
it.
did. I know how they got famous.
My daughter actually
From
met
what I
Jake
know,
Paul at the airport. They were getting on the same flight. She said that man is massive. My daughter's also 5'2".
I mean,
I don't hate them like that, but it was that Suicide Forest stunt. It was unforgivable. It was unforgivable. Are they talented kids? Yes, they found their way. But the reason why I brought them up is because he got an opportunity within the WWE because he showed himself to be athletic, but he is famous.
But he
He
also
does his thing in the ring, but
committed himself to the
but-
craft like he was serious. You know, he
because
didn't
off of
half-ass it. He didn't half-ass
off
it. Like,
his fame. Right. And that's what I
I
respect.
give Logan Paul
he
his
had to prove
respect.
himself. He had
He
to
put
prove
in the
himself.
work.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Logan,
to,
yes.
to TJ's point, though, Ronda Rousey made it to the WWE off her fame too, and she was terrible.
But she was, but she wasn't the worst, but she wasn't great. But she was also a legit. She was also a legitimate fight. Okay, cool. You're taking a legitimate fighter and putting her into what some would say is a simulated fight.
But we already had two professional MMA fighters in the WWE who acclimated appropriately.
Okay. Did we have that for the women before?
Yeah, Valentine.
Yeah, that probably was an era of the WWE. I wasn't. but anyway, point is off of that is they utilize the fame. They utilize their fame, and again, new media is changing everything to where, like I said, if you think that Hollywood didn't give you what you wanted, go write that shit yourself. Jamal knows directly why I'm talking like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You're not seeing some shit. Go create. The tools are there for you. Go create. If you don't think, and I'm sorry, if you want to, and if you want to make something under a certain IP, there's a thing called fan fiction. Then let them do a cease and desist if they don't like it. But then a lot of times, if they like it, they might, holla at you for a minute.
And it's funny you mentioned that. Shameless plug. I recently did an interview with Mastermind Connects, the gentleman behind the Pride Land series, where he takes everyone from the Lion King and other animals and puts them in his own urban scenario.
Oh, that's nuts.
Sorry, nuts. I heard. I saw the alley-oop. I was just like, I'm gonna just take that and do a quick plug.
all good. Pause. Plug away. that was a New York pause, Tyrone. Plug away.
Philly understood the pause.
But you know what? We here now. We did enough stalling. We had to have a little.
Let's rip the Band-Aid off, man.
We had to have a little
bring the mood down. Time to bring the mood down.
And I have to. I intentionally screen recorded this, and unfortunately, this orange orangutan devil. Shouts out to JP.
Jesus Christ.
He has to be shown because I need y'all to listen to this and then hear me out after.
Look at this sweaty motherfucker.
Volume.
I'm telling you guys, I'm full of shit. I don't know what I'm talking about. But you're gonna vote for me because
I'll stop. You do it, Corey. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
You do it. There was audio for it, but you do it.
We couldn't hear him. Sorry.
No, that's what I asked before. You can't hear it?
No.
We couldn't hear him. And just seeing his arms move, I was thinking about the Muppet Show.
Well, my bad. I thought that's why I checked it pre-show to see if it was playing.
It
But
was,
for some
but
reason,
low.
it's not playing. Whatever. Point is this guy said, Christians, come on, get out and vote. Please vote. Thank you, Curtis. You said it in the comments too, no volume. So that's my bad, y'all. I don't know why I did that, but whatever. So come on, Christians, get out and vote. Please vote. Please vote now. If you do this now, I promise 4 more years and you'll never have to do that again.
Yeah.
So this guy has shown to, air quotes, be a threat to democracy his first time. The man wanted to dismantle so many parts of the U.S. government before. Everybody knows how much he used to praise Kim Jong-un, Vladimir Putin, all these other dictators, dictators or dictators, however you want to view these people, right? And it's almost like he's at it again. And why should we all of a sudden now? I had to take a step back from a lot of people's conversations. Was like, yo, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be all right. 4 more years, and we got 4 more years for this. We're gonna be all right. 4 more years, we're gonna be all right. When I clearly remember, and reason why I tried to bring that video up with him saying 4 more years and you don't have to do this again. Why are we assuming that this is it for 4 years when this man clearly wants to eliminate that? His ego is too big and too strong. Now, the only thing that I think that can stop that is when his time is up, once he expires.
I'm gonna just save the stream because I know this is about to go. It's about to go to a very dark place. You know what I'm saying?
But Jamal, like, why would we as a people sit back and assume like, nah, we're gonna be okay? Because no, he said that shit, and I totally believe he means that shit.
100,000%. He has no intentions of leaving. He will not leave. The law does not apply to him. Right? He lives his life by his own laws. He's broken every law and has never had to pay a repercussion for it. He has no intention of leaving. He was shocked that he won again. He won again. He got 5 million less votes than the last time around, and he's won because the other side got 15 million less votes because motherfuckers stayed home or put their vote somewhere else, right? So what this guy's job is there's one of two paths. He's just going to stay in and just sign everything. He's got unfettered power. Every branch of government plus the Supreme Court he owns, right? This dude is going to have a billionaire oligarchy running the country, just like Russia and everywhere else, stuff like that. You see Elon Musk is out there doing stuff with him, right?
You got a racist South African running our finances.
A fucking idiot box with a lot of money. Anyway, this dude, he may be a useful idiot to the people who want to fleece this country blind, which they're going to do in the next 4 years. And he's there now. He may do a few things, and then his ass may expire, and they may be the ones to do it, right? But if he does not expire from Earth, he has no intention of leaving. They have full vetted power. They're going to rewrite the law so there's no term limits. There's no term limits. He's going to stay. He wants to be Putin. Putin been in that job for damn near 30 years now.
Yeah.
That's what this dude wants to do.
Here's the thing.
He wants to be BB. He wants to be BB in fucking Israel.
Yeah.
He wants to be king.
Here's the thing, right? The first time he won, he didn't have his enablers in there to stop him from doing what he was doing, right? There was people in his own cabinet were like, yo, we're not doing this shit. He's crazy. He's off his rocker. We're just gonna yes him to death, and we're gonna do what we need to do to make this shit.
And all those people are gone, TJ.
They're gone.
That's what I'm saying.
Now,
he has his enablers.
He's got acolytes now. Just acolytes. Crazy motherfucking acolytes.
They got people have kissed the ring, and now this is what they're gonna do. They're gonna do whatever he wants. Shit is gonna get passed that's never been passed before. Shit is gonna get done. Executive orders out the ass. It's all coming. But you know what? You just got to sit and watch the fucking clown show because
let it burn. Let it burn. Yes,
this is what you're signed up for.
Yeah.
I'm getting my popcorn and I'm pulling up to the TV and I'm watching y'all niggas do the most dumbest shit ever. And the same people that said 5G was the cause of fucking COVID is the same people that voted for this motherfucker.
But TJ,
Right
you kind of rushed to get to those insult points, which they're definitely coming. But yeah, in some respects, yeah, we have to now sit back and watch these people who chose to vote for this, because we're talking about the people who were one issue voters. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about the people who are one issue voters. And I had a conversation with a friend of mine who, this is my brother. I know he probably did vote for Trump. I don't give a fuck. This is one of my brothers, and it's tripping because his thoughts was, but my bank account under him was great. Like, my bank account was great. The freaking my 401k was freaking popping because he had everything rocking, and yada 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 yada. But again, your little $50 to $100 extra that we was getting a check for that first year, then in turn later put us in the position we're in now, where we're blaming this administration, but don't realize when Trump first started, the people were winning.
That's how you bankrupt the country. That's how you bankrupt the country, my guy.
The people were winning off of Obama's plans, and then when Trump's plans kicked in, then everything started to downfall. People who own homes and work great jobs that you pay taxes on, right? You now have to join everything together. There's no separation to where the house helps you. And now it's everything you pay goes with your income. And now if you did see a return, a lot of people are seeing less and less and less. But your bank account for 1 year was great. You know what I'm saying? You don't understand with the people that he has in place. Like, again, as we talked pre-show, and TJ, he's gonna have people in place to dismantle the education system. And when you think about all the states that went red first, it was all in that Bible Belt pocket that are top 10 dumbest fucking states in this country.
It's funny. It's funny, man, because how do you you're perennially in the top 10 for like most illiterate states. You have Mississippi, you have Alabama, you have
Missouri, Kentucky, Texas, Tennessee,
all these states. That, I mean, he's come on stage and said, listen, I'm doing away with Department of Education.
Yes.
Like,
reason for that.
How do you if you're a one what'd you say? Damn. I'm drawing a blank here.
One issue voter.
Yes, one issue voter.
Which there's another issue I'm gonna get to.
That issue alone, among that one and the other one, that I'm scratching the scalp out of my head, how people voted against that. How do you go ahead and do that?
Dude, the only people that will be going to the college are the rich. Once he gets rid of FAFSA, Pell Grants,
what grants?
All grants.
Exactly.
What grants?
There's no more work study.
That.
There's no more work study. There's no more gender-based scholarships. There's no race-based scholarships.
Come on, you cannot sit here.
Getting rid of
You cannot sit
Department
here
of Education.
and try to say, you can't sit here and say, oh, well, that's only for black people. No, because guess what? There are a lot of white folks that need it just like we need it, just like our community needs it.
Not if you're too dumb to realize it.
Think about all the Asians. Think about all the Asians who stepped up against affirmative action because allegedly their kids couldn't get into Harvard because Harvard had some decency and wanting to mix their school up in who they brought in. So they thought that their kids weren't getting into school because they were Asian. You know what I'm saying? Like,
now they're suing. They're not getting
now
in.
it's even less.
But our percentage of getting into those schools has remained the same.
Right.
Remain the same. So yeah, they want to get rid of the Department of Education because if you have to make the populace stupid, and then you can do what you want, and that's what works in those other states. That's been working in those other states. They don't need education. They think, and that's what it is. But that's long been the goal of the rich and the elites throughout history, that's long been the goal for the elites.
That's
is to
going to
keep
be the
population
downfall of
down.
this country,
it's
though,
the red-
because
it's
you're
the
going to
red
have too
states.
many stupid people in positions of power.
I was
That's
gonna
what
say,
they
Eventually,
I
you got to
was
get
gonna say,
replaced. They got to
it's the
get
red
replaced
And
by
states.
low
elites.
voter turnout. Low fucking voter turnout in the states.
That's the
The
problem.
lowest voter turnout is in the red states.
Listen, Biden won. Had 74 million votes, right?
I think he had
And
81 million,
Kamala,
man. He
say
had
again?
66. He had 81 and she had 66.
Right, okay, and she had 66.
15 million. Yeah. Difference.
So what? 15 million stayed home? I don't believe that.
Or
But
they
you
voted
want
for Jill Stein.
you know what the difference? You know what
Or
the
RFK.
difference in the moment in time was Trump was so bad the first time, people were empowered to get him the fuck out.
They forgot about that shit.
That's
They forgot
really
about
what
COVID.
it was.
They forgot about any damn thing.
COVID, January 6th. Well, January 6th was after, right?
Yeah.
But he did a shit job during COVID. Had people drinking bleach.
This dude was playing golf. He didn't do a television appearance for months during COVID. Nobody knew what he was, so he was playing golf and shitting himself. So
Corey, you're on mute, Corey.
I thought he
I'm like, you doing sign language?
yeah,
Guys,
I thought he was Bane.
guys, y'all got to remember, when you guys are making excellent logical points, and the majority of Trump's voters don't do logic.
No, they're illogical. You're right.
They
Well, they don't care. It don't affect them.
We're literally talking to the people who wake up early in the morning at the crack of dawn, brush their teeth with Mountain Dew, and then
More hopped up Mountain Dew.
pretty much. like literally, Ricky Bobby's. The Bible Belt is a lot of Ricky Bobbies of different colors, because we know skin folk ain't kin folk by default.
They
They didn't have gauze. They had fucking maxi pads.
Yo, real talk. I'm not gonna lie. I think the assassination attempt and him doing the little thing after he got shot, that's what got him over with a lot of his base.
He was already over with it. His base was set and solid.
It was over the top. It was just like, that. And then you saw people wearing ear patches at the convention.
It's a cult. It's a cult.
No, but that's not cult-like behavior to them. That's not cult-like behavior to them.
Of course, it's not cult-like behavior to them. They're not using logic.
You have a comedian. You have a comedian that come up and said that your island is a floating island of trash. And then come Tuesday, they all vote for him anyways. Talking about that doesn't bother me.
I got a theory on that shit. And two things, just theory, right? Because should we believe the polls on anything? Because the polls have been wrong the last 4 elections, right? The polls had showed Kamala was ahead by how many percentage points? Those same polls are now coming out saying that all these blacks and Latinos and Asians and all that shit voted for this dude. That could be complete bullshit. Why should we believe that? And they were wrong with everything else. Because if we believe this shit, it just continues to sow division between all the groups. The finger pointing of who did what, who voted for who. Don't fall. We can't fall for that shit because we shouldn't believe any of that garbage, man. Because the polls is fucking bullshit. Now, at the end of the day, when it comes down to the end of the day, what ends up happening is less people voted in this election, right? The last time he got in, people didn't vote. Whenever there's low voter turnout, historically, it favors the right wing, and that's just the bottom line. Because Stone Cold said so.
Because Dave Chappelle said it best. They'll be out there coal all crusted in their faces, but I'm putting Donald Trump in Washington D.C. because he's working for me.
Yeah.
The left has feelings. That's the problem. The right wing will vote for a motherfucker they don't like, they don't approve of, just to make sure the stuff they want to get through gets through. and anybody center left will end up fighting with each other over this thing or this topic or that topic and be a one issue voter. And
JG,
go ahead,
So then,
let's go.
you don't. Go ahead, Ty. My bad.
Go ahead, Ty.
Well, so Ben started this out by saying that there are a lot of people that saying that we're all going to be okay because in 4 years he'll be going, we're all going to be okay, and we're going to make it right. So with all of these things that this man wants to do, with all these people that he has in power and everything that we're saying today, the only thing we can hold and hope and hold our hat on is that at the end of the day, the democracy can somehow win out. We got to hold our hat on the fact that in 4 years, if democracy wins out, he'll be gone and somebody else will be in there and we'll have this chance again. But that's the only thing we can hold our heads on. So for the people that are saying that it's going to be okay in 4 years, he'll be out, yeah, he's trying to destroy that. But what else do we have as a hope to get him out? Like Dan said, we either got to wait for this man to expire or we got to hope that democracy still exists in 4 years and he can be voted out.
So this is what I was asking. This is what I was asking. This election, was it to protect whiteness? You know what I'm saying?
TJ, stop right there, because this is why, again, this 10-year-old podcast, right? A lot of things that people have been saying, especially within and around this go round of the election. I said this shit back in 2015. Many of other outlets, like a lot of the TYT and shit, has been saying a lot of this stuff. Well, not really the cultural aspect of things, the skin tone aspect of things, because some of them over there in TYT didn't believe that, or don't want to believe that the I hate saying it like this, but the racial aspect. Let me just say it the easier way. They don't want to believe in the racial aspect of this thing, but it absolutely is that. As I've been saying, this guy is racist white male America's last stand. And I'll repeat, this guy is racist white male America's last stand. I'm going to bring this screen back up because we're going to go into that. But here's the perfect example of this. Just the other day, after some of y'all see my Facebook posts about this shit, right? One of my boys was like, and I seen him. Funny enough, was he's on the job with me, but I've known him from before the job. He does my block as his route is my block, and he's seen me Wednesday morning, just like I'm pissed off about this. More behind my daughters, which we'll get to that down the line, but. He's like, yo, yeah, you got to, just calm down. Like, we've had worse presidents than this before. It's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right, right? Then later this same day, excuse me, he had a Facebook post that said, I was waiting outside my daughter's dance school, waiting for her, to get out, and some guy drives by looking at me saying, we're going to take our country back. That's right. We're going to take our fucking country back. And then I left a comment, not to be an ass, but I was like, now do you see why I was pissed off when you saw me earlier? You know what I'm saying? Now do you see why I was pissed off when you see me earlier? It's because that's exactly what this shit is. Racist white male America's last stand. And they've shown it. By way of, if you haven't seen the post recently, there has been many school districts. Come on, Corey. Specifically in the South. Your locks and your mask is whatever. Is rubbing mad shit. But there's specifically in the South, the day after the election, kids was getting text messages. You've been randomly selected. How do
go
we
to the plantation?
You've been randomly selected to go to this plantation.
Yeah.
You've already had rallies and shit with people holding up signs talking about women are homosexual sex is sin and women are property. Which again, I'm saving the women part for a little bit later. You're seeing this shit has been live and in play since his last time, where they now feel emboldened again to talk like they want to talk. This is why I said either is in the beginning of the show or pre-show, yo, if we're getting back to that 80s and 90s way of talking to each other, fuck your feelings shit. Like I used to do fuck your feelings Friday back in the day on Facebook. Like if we're getting back to that shit, number one, verbally, y'all better be ready. Number two, physically, that dude who said that shit to my boy should feel lucky that he didn't stop. Because my man's is he's got them things on him. You know what I'm saying? You know, you fucking lucky. This exactly, TJ, this is their return because they felt like they were being stifled. They were losing everything. Hence
They
why.
are.
Hence
They
why.
were losing America.
No, they
stifled.
were. They were.
This
now
country's still turning brown, Dan.
Oh,
They can't stop that.
That's
They can't stop
one
that.
aspect. That's one
And they
aspect.
still got less votes than the last time around. They still got less votes.
But the votes damn near
That's-
don't matter. He won.
Right. But
Now.
the movement's not getting any bigger. Is what you have to look at the optics of it. They do have the power, and they do have the control, but the movement shrank even more.
Indeed. But
Yeah.
take this like this. When we look at us, minus
Mhm.
the ashiness, globally, who's really the minority? Yet who gets treated like minorities?
We are. That's it. We know
We
that.
are not the minority.
No,
but
no.
We get treated like minorities.
Yeah.
Yes, we get treated as such. They've always been a minority. And shouts out to that old video from the Viceland show. I forgot the Asian cat's name. He always did dope work, that kid. But he had the dinner with the white nationalists who said my vote simply went to Trump because it was to preserve my race. Because that's how these people internally feel. A lot of these people, especially on his side, they were not voting for policy. But if they told you it was policy, that was in my lens and in my view, that was their disguise and mask of, see, I'm not a racist. But when you really boil this shit down, it's exactly what the fuck it is. Especially, and it burns me the most, and I'll go here. It burns me the most when fathers of daughters chose this route. To lend their vote to this route. Because a lot of people, single issue voters, their biggest deal was abortion. And for some strange reason, people truly think that women are out there using abortion as a fucking form of contraceptive.
It's not the 1940s or 50s anymore. We're not doing
TJ,
that.
people
This ain't
think
the 80s and
that
90s no more.
but even still, people think that abortion is being used as a form of contraceptive. Where if these ignorant motherfuckers either picked up a newspaper, or typed in a URL and searched and seen how many women died this year alone because a person like the one that I've been bringing up the most recently, there was an 18-year-old girl in Texas who died of sepsis because she was 6 months pregnant. The doctors, number one, misdiagnosed her, but then said because the baby had a heartbeat, there was nothing they could do about it. So guess what happened? That
both of them died. The baby and the mother.
Exactly. The person that you thought was a life that is not a fully formed and breathing life yet is now gone. And the carrier, the mother, is now gone because of ignorant fucking policies. This shit was not about abortion. It's about having you crusty motherfuckers not making a decision about what my daughters can do with their body. And it goes to them fucking rallies that we're seeing right now. Exactly, Curtis, from a known womanizer. It goes right to the fucking rallies that are now talking that women are possessions. I couldn't wait. I was holding on to this shit for this show to say this. If any motherfucker out there that treats any of my daughters like property, trust and believe. The 180 flip that I've been holding into, all the dark shit that I've been holding into in my brain, and I will save that right there to not get this video banned, or when I clip this, to not get those clips banned, because I mean that too. If I have to stop,
Man, it goes further than that. It goes further than that. You
not
got sisters,
for me, TJ.
you
TJ,
got nieces. You got. I know what you're saying as a father.
TJ.
I know what you're saying as a father.
I have a sister. I have a sister.
Right.
All I have is nieces and only 2 nephews.
You're right.
My only first cousin. I get you, and thank you. My only first cousins are all women, but I'm talking directly in my household.
Yeah.
Yes, we got all of other. I'm talking directly in my household. You crusty motherfuckers, because you feel a certain way because you think your book told you something, which I learned, even though I have been through church and all that shit when I was younger. I forgot most of that Bible shit. Abortion is in the Bible, dickheads. Abortion is in the Bible, dickheads. Yeah. But you think it's something else. And again, because you talked the racial aspect of things before, TJ, part of why they want to get rid of it is because their own women in their own fucking households aren't producing babies for them like they want them to.
No, because they want the black man.
Well, that's part of it. That's part of it. But you know what I'm saying?
They want that Rico Suave, dogs. They don't want that bland chicken no more.
Right, but they're not producing babies the way they want them to where their quote unquote race is no longer thriving in the way.
Well, if the politicians stop having abortions with their side pieces, then maybe we can get some more little white babies in the world today.
That's another part. That's another part of it. That's another part of it. But then when you tie it all together with why do they want brown people? And you see, once again, how many times have I had to say this shit? They're only talking about brown countries. They're not talking close the border to Canada. They're not talking about close the fucking border to Sweden, Germany, England, fucking Poland. They're not talking about that. It's because it goes right to what you just said, TJ. And I go ahead, Tyrone. But if you are a father of daughters and you supported this orange fucking monkey, fuck you. And if you think any of my daughters and you're gonna treat them like property, best believe you may not breathe again. By my hand. Who got a plane going? Or you got a fucking jet plane on here? Or is that you, TJ?
That's me. Somebody's got this leaf blower. I'll turn it off.
Because they heard me. They said, fuck that. I'm Donald Trump. But fuck your message. But go ahead, Tyrone.
I'm on a little bit of the other side with this, and not on the other side of as far as like abortion, as far as like how they concerned, because it's women's rights, and I do think that a woman has the right to do whatever she wants with her body, and I do think she has the right to make that decision. But on the other side of it is that I had a child die that wasn't fully developed, that was inside the womb, right? And I used to think like that too, like it's not even a baby yet, it's inside until it's out, it's not a person. But when my daughter died, and it was just a little, what they put in the bag wasn't a human being by any means, but I felt that. You know what I mean? I saw that bag, and I was hurt that was my child in there. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of changed my view a little bit on the whole thought process of it's not a person yet, because I felt that way before, and then to see that bag and to see it don't look like a human being, it looks like a mass of whatever, but I was hurt. That still was my child. So on the side of that, I'm like, to me, it is a life and it is a child to me after that point. And so I feel differently about abortions. And I do feel kind of like females in my neighborhood, females where I grew up from are kind of using that as a contraceptive a little bit, because I've had a lot of girls that go, I don't care, I'll get an abortion. And I've had a lot of girls still to this day that'll go, hey, I don't got to use protection. I'll get the Plan B pill and all that. So it is a concept where they are kind of doing that, but that doesn't change the fact that it's still their right to do whatever they want with their bodies, and it's still their right to get abortions, and it's still their right to not have to have a child that was created by rape, or have a child that was created by incest, or even to have to be forced to raise a child that they can't afford, that they don't want, and all that stuff. And I know too about adoption because my mom took in kids, and people just go, oh, you can have the baby and put it up for adoption. But that's not an easy thing either, because them girls go through depression and they suffer from that. They miss those kids. They didn't want to have to do it. So that causes a lot of trauma for them too. So I don't agree with taking away a woman's right to have an abortion. I'm just saying, from my perspective, I can see some of the other side of it, even though it didn't ultimately change my complete mind. You know what I mean?
And Tyrone, I totally agree with you from that standpoint. Like Curtis saying, miscarriages, fibroids, entropic pregnancies. These are major things to consider. Tubes wrapping around a baby in the womb. These things may go overlooked. And that's really, besides my message of fuck around and find out, is the woman herself should not lose the right to choose what they need to do with their bodies to carry on their lives. It shouldn't be a legislative thing. It shouldn't be you throwing what you think your Bible says in our faces to make yourself feel right. But everything I described was the deeper plot behind all of this shit, because nobody wants to talk about this shit out loud. You're not going to hear this shit on major network television. You're not going to hear this shit on that. You're only going to get it from platforms like us and people who are not afraid to speak the behind shit that it's clear in our faces, but people don't want to believe it because they want to be on the side of their cult leader. They want to be on the side of what they think is the winning side. They believe certain things and yada. They have their feelings, yada, 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 whatever. You know, so many men are probably really feeling like, yeah, we get back to running shit and yada. Motherfucker, as I said, I think I said it last week on the show, right? Yeah, okay, the man can be perceived as the head of the household because, you know, because of history and who makes the most money. TJ broke that down, I believe, last week and stuff like that. But as we described, who really runs the house? Who really runs the family? It's the woman. It's a woman. And it's sad that, again, to me, the crazier part is they hate these people are homophobes, but yet they act like the gayest niggas on the fucking block. And again, to my LGBTQ plus community, hopefully you understand what I'm saying when I'm talking like that. You know what I'm saying? You act like the gayest motherfuckers on the block. Y'all are the people who
some of these dudes is real closet boys, yo.
DJ, yo, they're the fucking
some of these dudes is real closet boys.
They're the products. Most of these people are the products of fucking all-boy Catholic schools. Most of these cats are the products of being in the confessional booth, maybe with no window in the middle of the confessional booth, with their pants down, as the altar boys, even the flame, with no drawers on underneath. Yeah, I'm just saying. Y'all niggas are the ones that are truly the gay folks. Y'all are the real gay folks. Y'all hate women so much, but then you want a woman to fucking lay in bed next to you. You want a woman to get up to fucking make you a fucking sandwich. That old school fucking trope and shit like that. But you gotta be this. It's a man's this. It's a man. No, y'all niggas are the real gay motherfuckers out there. Y'all are the gay folk. LGBT community, I swear there's more men in that community than some of you fucking Trump supporting fags. Yeah, I said it like that too, because I'm not talking against the freaking LGBTQ plus community. I'm talking in a language that y'all want to talk like again. Like I say, you want to bring 90s conversation back? That's what the fuck we're bringing back. That's what the fuck we're bringing back. You fucking Trump supporters, y'all are the real fags. Y'all are the real gays. Y'all are the real fucking Catholic school altar boys. That's y'all.
Damn.
I said that shit, and I was holding on to this shit for the longest. He said their later dance to YMCA with a double pump pipe system. Hey, yo. I'm just saying. I'm sorry.
You're gone too far.
I think reading it is what set me off. I'm sorry. He be out there on some pause.
Jerking off two dicks at the same time, bro. That's what that's called.
Yeah, I'm just saying though. Like you see, I'm fired up, but I feel like I'm fired up within reason. I don't know if y'all disagree with what I've said, or do y'all agree with what I said? Y'all can disagree with me all day, but I'm just. Hey, they like to hear the truth. They like to hear uncensored shit. This is how I'm calling y'all out. Y'all fucked it up with this one policy vote, and you motherfuckers didn't even know what his policies were.
That part.
All y'all heard was deport him. Yo, he talking about day one. How are you doing this shit day one? Like I said on my Facebook page, I don't want to see none of you motherfuckers out there who voted for him driving around picking up any day laborers because your lazy ass sons don't want to get out there and pour concrete with you.
There won't be any day laborers. They did this before in California. They did this before in California. They tried to recruit some white people
in the back blowing leaves
to pick. Hold on, they tried to get the white folks to pick strawberries for the same wages that they paid the Mexicans.
Not happening.
Them motherfuckers walked off. They walked off right away. It's not gonna happen.
Check this out, man. Yo, that roof is hot in July, man. That roof is hot in July, man.
Remember after that hurricane in Florida?
The pool painters know. The pool painters know.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, we know.
The pool painters know.
Yo, bro. A year later, my ass was in school. Yep. Oh yeah.
Quiet in here.
Yes, sir. I was like, oh, no. Yeah,
we let you rock that soliloquy, Dan. That was elegant. You know what I'm saying?
Keep going, Jamal. What was you about to say about Florida?
I was saying, this whole thing with them deporting people. Number one, if they're going to round up, we don't even know the numbers of illegals. They just say shit. Nobody ever fact checks nothing. They could come out tomorrow and say there's 50 million illegals here. They just say shit, and people just buy it, right? If they got to round up all these people and send them back, one, that costs money, right? So that's going to cost the government right there. The other thing is it's going to be a tremendous labor shortage. Florida had that shit after that first hurricane where they couldn't do any rebuilding because DeSantis and them bust all the people out.
Right.
And that's why the recovery is so slow. Right. So who wants? You better let those people have them jobs. Who wants to pay $18 for a box of cereal or grapes at $15.99 a pound?
Word.
Or your produce going to, you know what I'm saying?
At this rate, things will get real purgy in the next few years.
Purgy, or the inflation going to go to the roof because this dude talking about doing tariffs, and these dumbasses don't know how tariffs work.
Yeah, they fell for that shit.
They stupid. This is what happens when basic economics and civics gets taken out of schools.
You know when these tariffs hit, Temu is done, son.
All of them is done.
But that's common sense. But here's the thing.
Temu
Here's
will
the
be
thing is
done.
like, here's my thing on like
you was about to say common sense. Choose your
that's
words
my
wisely
thing.
because this ain't common.
Well, I mean, it's sense at all. Then, like, come on. So if you own a product and you got to pay more to get your product out, that's just basic business. If I own a product and my product is going to cost me more, then the cost goes to the consumer, not the business owner. Like that's just like natural business. That's just like normal sensibility. So you got to think like, okay, he's going to put the tariffs on them. Who's going to pay for that? Mm-hmm. You think the company's just going to take that? Like, no, we got to like. It's not something that you really have to really think about. It's not educational. This is something that a kid knows. This is something that grown people should automatically realize that from the jump. Like, I don't understand why this has to be explained at all.
The bottom line is They don't care. They don't care. This is why they voted against their self-interest, because they do not care.
As long as it makes them feel good emotionally and makes them feel superior, they don't care what this dude does to them or for them. That's the bottom line.
They were looking
It's,
for a reason.
as long as it lines up with their own personal self-worth and how they see themselves in the world, that's all they care about. They're meat puppets. They're walking dead at this point.
Exact, AKA, as I've always said, just like people have said, I forgot who made the quote originally in the past, but it was one of the presidents. They get reminded time and time again, at least they ain't a nigga.
Yeah.
And that's at minimum. That's at minimum.
They okay with being the overseer.
At least they ain't a nigga. And even more fucked up too, which is the part that we didn't touch with the whole immigration deporting them thing, right? Now they even talking about, that the air quotes anchor baby situations.
Dan, everybody's going, bro. Everybody's going. If you're not a citizen of this country, deuces, bro. Deuces.
They're actually getting rid of naturalized citizens too. They're
if
taking
your
naturalized citizens and sending them back.
Yeah,
That's
if
what
your
the-
parents
that's
are
nuts.
not a citizen, you can go
The
back.
reality is going to hit like a ton of bricks.
Shouts out to the video that I sent y'all to the man, Mr. Rodriguez out there in Texas, Cuban guy who was all over his TikToks, Trump this, Trump that, Trump. He caught the rude awakening, one of the illest rude awakenings ever. But after the election, his kids used to go play with the neighbors' kids across the street, and then all of a sudden, after the election, the neighbor's parents, the kids' parents came out the door and was just like, "Get the fuck out of here. We don't want your kind here. Go back to your country. Go back to where you came from."
All I heard was that John Francesco on TikTok was saying, "I never thought the lepers would eat my face."
Yo, I caught that joke. That shit's hilarious.
So yeah, all of y'all, I put the thing up. Let's just briefly go through this before we get off of this, because I have it queued up, because there was a question from our brothers over at That's Absurd podcast who they voted for Trump. Some of them voted for Trump, but whatever. But they still the homies nonetheless. But
that's absurd.
That is absurd.
That's absurd.
That's our brothers down there though, Juno and all them, Nate, Swerve is the one who asked the question. But this here, right, the number one thing that everybody was saying and people are now feeling a way about is Black women stepping up saying, you know what, like, don't ask us to come help you no more. Don't ask us to come save you no more. And then the typical, you black men, we all black men here. Guess what most of us black men didn't do? This ain't our fault this time. This ain't our fault this time. That's right. They blame black men in droves. Damn shame. This ain't our fault this time, y'all.
No, that's why I'm like, I'm always skeptical of polls, and like sometimes those things are released to just divide and conquer, have us all fighting and not thinking of a way how to get these motherfuckers out, pointing the finger.
Absolutely.
And that's all. Like, all right, if they couldn't, the polls, they're just not accurate. So I'm going to believe this information. How do they?
So I'm sorry. Is this poll like an exit poll, or is it a way that they can say, okay, Marco Opoku voted. I know he's black, so we're gonna, you know what I'm saying? So this is not an accurate poll right here, is what you're saying.
Well, it says latest exit poll. So if it's a polling,
okay,
right. Now
it's confusing though, because 42% male, right? But 85% black. What percentage of the male in that 42% was black of the 85%? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you see males voted more. We all know who his key base was: young to middle-aged men, white men. You know what I'm saying? But like, How many percentage of that 55% was black men? You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have that.
Well, you if everything is attached to the name of the person, IDs, all of that, it legitimately could all be tied back to census material if
Right.
people
Right.
filled out
Right.
census
That's what I'm
material.
asking.
But the Jamal's point is the legitimacy. Do we really believe that they went back and researched that deeply?
No.
It all depends on who did it, because there are institutions out there that do the work.
Mhm.
I just don't think that this poll came from one of them.
No, it did it.
As they say, the winners write the story, right?
There you go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yes.
But
But
I
what is-
think
Again,
go ahead, Tyrone.
But I mean, but now my point is like, so now we have to live in this woe is me society. You know what I'm saying? So what do we hold our hopes on now? Like we have to sit here and have to be woe is me, because I still got to go to work. I still got to take care of my family. I still got to live in the United States. I don't got money. I can't just go move to Europe or something like that. So I still got to live here. So what do we as a people hold our hopes on now for? All we
They
got
don't
is
want you in Europe
democracy.
either.
They don't want you to have hope.
I
I'm just
I
saying.
I
I'm
can't
not going to
speak.
sit
I
here and
can't.
go into a depression. I'm not going to sit here and just go into, oh, we're doomed, we're done, and go into a depression. Because if that's the case, I might as well not go to work. Like, if I'm doomed, I'm doomed, right? So no, I'm not going to go into a depression. So I hold my hopes and my dreams on the fact that it may take more than 4 years for this man to accomplish the things he wanted to accomplish, and we'll have this opportunity again, and he can't run again, and democracy will win out. That's the only thing
I would say
that's the only thing I can think of when I'm going to say to keep it moving, to keep
the
pushing.
only thing I can say hope wise, Tyrone, to be really, really honest with you, is hope that he keeps the democratic process of voting a thing. That's really the only hope left. Because other than that, he's going to put us in a position to where we're just going to have to play their game or find a way to revolt. And this man, again, has already discussed having the military point their guns back at the American people. So once again, I ask people who are Americans in the military, what are you going to do when the government tells you to turn your guns on your people? The same people that y'all were told you were protecting centuries now. What are you going to do?
Yeah, that's the thing too. As much as we might hate who's the president, as much as we might not like what's going on in America and all this and all that, I don't want no civil war up in here. You know what I mean? That's not what I want to happen. I'd rather just let Trump be president and do what he's going to do. But a civil war is a terrible thing that I do not want to.
Agreed, and nor do I think it could happen. It could happen, and unfortunately, if this guy gets what he wants, it may have to happen to get things to turn backwards. But if you didn't hear me, this man wants to have the American military on our soil, holding and controlling shit.
This shit is weird, man. And hope in this case feels very irrational to me. But if that's how you get through it, by all means.
Yeah, it's asking for hope is like saying I still believe in this system. I've barely ever believed in this system. We just thrived and worked through it.
I was gonna say something earlier. You know, my pops, man. The time I was in Ghana. I swear it got to the point where I intentionally tried to steer our conversations away from Trump because he will talk about this dude for hours, and I'll just be like, okay, listen, I had enough, right? But you know, I feel as though not him himself, the engine behind him, we don't give them enough credit.
Thank you. It's not that man.
For like they were playing chess when everybody was playing checkers.
I've been
He-
saying that man is just the puppet.
That's
This
it.
whole time.
He's useless. He's a useful idiot, man.
You
He's
know,
a useful
we-
idiot that'll just, like TJ said before, executive order everything.
Yeah. You know, this dude, before the first thing he did, before he got into office, before he knew he was going to win the election, was he fought for immunity. You know, and now he won. And so, you know, these 34 counts that you guys like to bring up, yeah, it's not a problem anymore because
And the judge intentionally held the sentencing until after.
because he
True.
knew that was a moot point. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
Played the game to save his job.
he did. And Giuliani, that's why Giuliani didn't give up his properties and you know for these
Right.
tortured women. The same thing. You know, so I mean, this dude, I'll give him enough credit to say that, yeah. He knew he was 10 steps ahead.
Teflon Don.
And just a reminder again, people who believed in this was about policy, this had nothing to do with policy.
Fuck.
They hooked people who were the quote unquote undecided with concepts of policy, but this was never about policy. Why? Because when you are of the right shade that can coast through this country, no problem. When you can coast through this country with no problem just because of the way you look, I could get it where policy may be the thing you think that we're all thinking about. This
Yes.
wasn't about policy.
Harris was a black woman. So that's 2 strikes. If it was baseball, she had 2 strikes against her already.
Every at bat.
That's it. And now we have confirmation this country will not vote for a woman, period. Period.
Period.
Yeah.
Period.
Period.
Oh, and reminder, y'all, because you know people will say, "Oh, the Democrats lost to him twice." Because unfortunately, they stood and we're not saying this against women, but it was because he only beat women. Bars,
Yep.
double entendre,
What about
but he only
Caitlyn Jenner, though?
huh?
Caitlyn Jenner could win, right?
No,
I mean,
no, not at all.
I'm just saying. Maybe
Try.
I don't know if
Try.
I don't know if murder can fly yet.
Oh yeah. Real quick before we get
We're
out
not
of here.
done because I got
Okay.
a question. I got a question from another show that we got.
Okay, go ahead.
No. You get your shit out the way.
No. Oh, okay. So, not to change the gears, but
Chiefs
I
won again?
got to change the Chiefs won again. Can we talk about the debacle that is the Philadelphia 76ers? $659 million was spent on 3 players, and neither one of them have played on the floor at the same time. Tyrese Maxey's now out for a couple of weeks with a hamstring because he has to carry the entire load of the franchise on his back.
I don't even
Paul
want to.
George and Joel Embiid take nights off because it's a back-to-back game or what have you. They're 1-7, maybe 1-8. What are they doing down there? What is their management doing? I mean, signing Paul George to a $200 million contract, knowing his history, re-upping Joel for another 146 or 60 something million. You pay Tyrese because he's going to be the face of the franchise for a long time. But what are you doing?
I think you
You
just
can't
talked
get rid
about
of
it
these
enough.
guys. You can't get rid of these guys.
Quarterback.
They're locked in for 3 or 4 years.
I think you just talked about it enough, TJ, because the season still just started. So
They're not
it's
going to
only,
make those games up, Dan. They can't make those games up.
and that's okay. Are we Sixers fans?
No, I'm just,
Then fuck 'em.
I just want to pour alcohol on the wound, bro. I just want to pour alcohol on the wound, bro.
I had to take a few breaths. I was.
You see the hat I'm wearing? Do you see the hat I'm wearing?
I think you poured the 90% in alone. That's all we need. But the irony of you bringing basketball up, the last question comes from the homie Swerve from That's Absurd podcast. You'll hear him pronounce our shit wrong. Audio should be heard this time. But here we go.
Yeah, I see through that shit.
No.
I got one question, Juno. You about to wrap us up? I got one question. I gotta ask.
Y'all hear it, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What's the dudes from the mayor? The mayor's from what podcast? From the starters, not the starters.
Starting
five, yeah. There we go. The Starting Five podcast. The mayor. I need to ask him a question. Hopefully, he's listening to this. He could respond back.
And I text Juno.
Was it disrespectful for the Orlando Magic organization to let Tracy McGrady wear number 1, knowing that Penny Hardaway was wearing number 1 before?
Penny Hardaway is Tracy McGrady.
Was it disrespectful for the Denver Nuggets to let Joker wear number 15, knowing that Carmelo Anthony wore number 15 in Denver before him?
Now, I'll pause it there to answer those questions because he goes on and asks a little bit more to elaborate on both of them. So, thoughts, TJ, so we could get the leaf blower muted after your comments.
It wasn't disrespectful. I mean, Tracy McGrady was an excellent player. He got the Magic to the finals with Shaq. Not Penny
Penny
went to Penny went to the finals with Shaq. But McGrady didn't do anything bad. He just couldn't carry the load by himself. Tracy McGrady was an excellent player. I don't think it was disrespectful in any way, shape, or form. Now the Joker, the man's won 2 MVPs and a chip. It doesn't get more respectful than that. You would have to retire 2 numbers in Denver, and that's Jokers and that's Melos. I mean, the man elevated the franchise to a place it's never been before. And he's a phenomenal player. He's killing it again this year. So, yeah, I don't think either were disrespectful.
Yeah, I disagree. Yeah, McGrady, Penny didn't play enough years, in my opinion, in Orlando for them, for McGrady for them to deny McGrady to wear the number 1. But Melo played his rookie contract, right? And he was perennial All-Star. You went to the All-Star for 4 years in Denver, I believe, or at least 3 that I'm sure of. And no one wore it since he left. And then Joker came and they gave it to him. So yeah, I think
Joker's a phenomenal player, though. Joker's a phenomenal player that won a chip.
He was, but he didn't start out as a phenomenal player. I mean, he was the 2nd round pick. So yeah, I think Denver knew what they were doing. In my opinion.
And before anybody else goes, my point kind of goes to what both of y'all said in a way of neither organization retired either number 1. So number 1 or 15. Neither organization retired either one. Number 2, the numbers only went to phenomenal players. And when you look at it in the lens of the names mentioned, both numbers went to phenomenal players in their respective positions. You know what I'm saying? And I don't find it disrespectful because also too, there's only but limited numbers you can wear anyway. I mean, ain't nobody running out on the basketball court in a number fucking 79
look at Boston.
or 67, like my brother, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, then you got a Boston Celtics situation where you got to get like fucking number 27s or fucking number 58s and shit because they retired fucking half the Legends jerseys and shit like that, So I don't find it disrespectful in any way, Jamal.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah.
I think it boils down to if the the team likes you. because
Yeah,
because listen, I talk about Bill Bradley all the time, man. If we're going off of just numbers, his numbers should not be in the rafters, and he should not be in the Hall of Fame. You know, off of numbers alone. So
Wow.
if I mean, and in that case, you know, Patrick Ewing should not be the only one that has his numbers in the rafters. Charles Oakley should have his numbers in the rafters, but that will never happen as long as Dolan is owner. You know, so I think it all boils down to if the club likes you and you have good relations with the club, then yes.
But also that you got to represent the number from the previous player, right? Like you have to carry that weight.
true. True. Go ahead, Tyrone.
For me, I don't give a fuck. Like, here's my thing. So, for me, the respect level goes on what have you done? What have you done? Yeah, Penny, y'all got to the finals. Penny got derailed by injuries and things of that nature. I feel sorry for him, but he ain't do nothing for Orlando to owe him no fucking respect. I'm sorry, he didn't. You didn't win no championship here. You didn't elevate our franchise to nothing. So we don't owe you nothing. And we got a new star. He wants number one. He's our new star. He gets number one. Same thing with Carmelo. Carmelo, yeah, you was here. Yeah, you had good years. You ain't win a shit. We didn't win no championships with you here. You didn't do anything for us to really feel like we owe you any respect. And then you left for the money. You left for the money, bro. You left us for the money.
He got traded. He got traded.
He had an open thing. He went to New York for the money. He could have stayed in Denver. He could have stayed there. You left for the money, dog. And the other thing is this.
I think he wanted to get back to New York City though, because he technically.
But here's my thing. I have a level of respect for you based on the bottom line, and the bottom line is this: if you've been my superstar for years and years and years, and we haven't won a championship, I'm pissed off at you. I'm kind of mad. I'm kind of salty at you about that. Like, dude, we paid you all this money. You are a superstar. We amped you up. You put an MVP award, and
that's why it's a team sport, Ty.
You're going to All-Star games and shit like that.
That's why it's a team sport, Ty. He could drop 50. He could drop 50, and everybody else dropped 2 points.
TJ, you know that I only hear the me in the word team. I stand on me. I don't stand. If you don't win that championship, I don't have no respect for you. Sorry to tell you. So no, I don't feel it.
So none of that falls on the management. None of that falls on management to get this guy over the hump.
Your boy Melo disrespected the Denver Nuggets by not winning the championship. So it's fair game.
I think George Karl, right?
I think when it comes down to it, the most memorable thing about Penny Hardaway was all of his commercials. Very little about his actual gameplay.
We remember his play.
Nah, he was nice. That dude was nasty, yo.
Yeah, he was so nasty. That's why
don't disrespect him like that. He got injured.
Yeah.
It happens. It's the same thing. It's the same thing with Joel Embiid, right? He'll never get his props because he never got past the second round, and he couldn't carry his team when they needed him. That's what you're saying.
Penny Hardaway came and
bad
gone
example because he was a league MVP.
He came and gone, and then Tracy McGrady came in, took the number, and took it where it needed to go. So
which wasn't anywhere, but okay.
Yeah, still wasn't.
Dan.
Still wasn't nowhere, but still better than his predecessor.
You could be a league MVP, but if you're a league MVP and the only one that hasn't gotten past the second round, it's not saying much about your legacy, dogs.
I understand. Now, Jamal, can we finally get to you in the question?
I think it's matter about how much the team likes you and what terms you split on. Joker has a chip. I mean, that's their dude. That they're gonna put that up there. Melo has a double legacy, but Melo rocks the Knicks. When you think about his legacy, he don't talk about Denver. It's about his time with the Knicks. So that doesn't bother me. The thing with Orlando is that was a little disrespectful. Both those players were outstanding, but their legacy was really built on Shaq and Penny. You know, that was their foundation players. Like, okay, but again, it depends on how much they like him and if there's a chip involved. So, I mean, you know, that's my take on it.
There was only a finals involved, but never the chip.
That's it.
That's it. But let me keep going on the rest of what he's saying here.
That's my questions. I feel like it's disrespectful for Denver to let Joker wear 15 because he's a second round. He was a second rounder, right? He was not a high pick. Nobody knew he was going to be this good. So you were pretty much going to let this bum, who you thought was just going to be some random player, this bum wear Carmelo's number.
Yeah.
But even right now, I don't think Denver really.
Shouts out to Gray.
How you call that? I don't think
Denver-
they give Carmelo a standing ovation like that.
I mean, they don't have. He's before Joker. He was the best player they ever had.
No, he was. But look at the organization. Do they really like? You know what I'm saying? Like when Carmelo.
They don't know
New
what
York,
he's
he gets a
saying.
standing ovation.
Yeah, I know. But I'm saying before
Denver ain't doing that. You know.
before Denver got Joker, who was their best player?
I know. Yeah, I know that. But I'm just saying, like.
And then Joker came, and they're just like, all right,
Yeah.
this random guy comes in, and we're just going to give away his number to one of the number of one of the best players we've ever had in our organization. We're just going to give his number to this guy. We didn't think that maybe we were going to retire this number possibly. That's like if somebody just gave away Giannis's number in Milwaukee because he leaves. This guy's going to be our best
Giannis
player of all
got
time,
chip.
probably.
Yeah, we know. But
That's second best.
What would you say,
Yeah.
Jamal?
I say Giannis got a chip. That'd be different.
Right. And he's maybe I think if you said second best, there was one person who was there before him
Still got
who was
Kareem.
better. There you go.
I don't think.
And
Denver
here's the other thing. At the end of the day, who's a better player, Melo or Joker?
Yeah.
It's
It's
that's a give and
Right.
take.
Right.
That's a give and take.
No, Melo's a scorer. Melo's a scorer.
But not only that, I think the point that he was trying to make was that we didn't know that Joker was going to be this good. He was the second round.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean,
That's
and that's
fair.
fine and everything, but what memory do the Nuggets have with Melo that's that outstanding that they have to put him as a featured player, a featured all-time player of their franchise? They also had Iverson at the time, right? Did they have
did.
Kenyon Martin there as well at the time?
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
so.
Kenyon Martin and JR.
Yeah, Swish.
And I think he had Chauncey Billups for a little while too.
He did.
Here's my thing. They didn't have to know what Jokic was going to be. It didn't matter. Jokic wanted number 15 for whatever reason he wanted to, or maybe they just said, hey, here's your number for whatever reason. It didn't matter if Jokic was going to be a bum or not. Denver did not care about that number. They did not care about Melo, and it wasn't disrespect. It was simply for the fact that Melo ain't do nothing for them. He did not perform. At the end of the day, if you don't win me a championship, you ain't. I don't owe you shit. I'm just saying.
Melo sold out stadiums.
Yeah, so but here's this.
He was a draw.
Here's this though.
I need to win. I need
Here's
championships.
this
Not
though.
lying. Not lying.
Here's this though.
No
Well, let's say
chips.
Joker flamed out in like the first year and a half, and he's been in the league for I don't know what, 8 years now. We wouldn't be having this conversation. We wouldn't know who the fuck wore Melo's number after Melo retired or left. That'd be a fucking trivia question. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like Nikola Jokic, who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah,
He's some
what the
guy
fuck
playing
is a
in Europe. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
It's not even spelled with a Y. What's a Jokic?
We wouldn't be having this conversation because you wouldn't care. Somebody else would probably get the number then.
Let me keep going because I think he had something else to say within this.
And then the same thing with
That'd be fucked up if they retired for Jokic.
yeah, exactly. And T-Mac, I guess T-Mac was really good when he came into the league, but we didn't know he was going to be that good. I still don't know who's better. That's why I'm asking Mayor, who's better, T-Mac or Penny?
That was the last question. And we'll stop there because that was the last question.
I figured that was just it.
I'm gonna tell you, out of the top 4 or 5 scorers that I've seen in while watching basketball, T-Mac was one of them 5.
Yeah, and I'll give it to T-Mac because health.
Yeah,
So he was an injury prone player too. His career unfortunate to Melo in this comparison conversation lasted much longer.
But Penny was a floor general, man. I mean, the passes this dude used to make.
We were
And he
talking
could
about
score
Magic.
from pretty much anywhere. He was a big
Yeah, he was
guard.
a 6'7" guard.
Yeah,
You know, that
like
could play three positions.
yeah,
Like there were Magic comparisons, man.
yeah. He was that
Penny,
nice. You know what I'm
Penny
saying?
was exactly what we was promised. Penny was exactly what we was promised Ben Simmons was going to be. Penny was what we was told Ben Simmons was going to be.
But Ben
more
Simmons,
athletic.
Ben Simmons is the bigger dude, though. Pause. He's a
And
bigger dude.
and in respect to, Penny, we could easily say that T-Mac was what we thought Penny was going to be. Almost similar frame.
They played a similar game.
Almost similar game. It's just Penny was a point guard more than a shooting guard.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Mac was not the point
Can't
guard.
argue that.
Could he have been? Maybe. But he was that dude who was that tall assassin pre-KD. You know what I'm saying? Thinking tall, lanky dudes who can kind of do it all. You know what I'm saying? T-Mac was what Penny should have been. Even though Penny, let's keep it real, Penny came in the era of Jordan. People thought he was also going to be that next one. Kind of like they did with a Grant Hill.
Yeah, between him and Grant Hill.
No, Grant Hill was.
Grant Hill was a monster.
And I hate Grant Hill. I hate Duke. But I hate Grant Hill. I gotta give Grant Hill credit.
I hate Duke, but I love Grant Hill. And if that dude stayed healthy, because that was another product of
injury. He changed the game.
Yeah,
he changed the game.
But anyway, thank you, Swerve, for the questions. Hopefully, y'all brothers hear that. Once again, Juno, we've been down for a minute. We're waiting for this collab, y'all. Come through for this collab, and we can have that Absurd starting 5. All of y'all will all fit, and we'll have one of the wildest fucking conversations ever. Whenever y'all brothers is ready, they you know, the time I was in Florida a couple years back, like I was supposed to go and pull up on them, but it was like a fucking 45-minute drive from where we were at, and they didn't start recording until like 9-10 o'clock at night, so that wasn't happening for me. But I still did the show with them over, you know, through whatever it was. I think it was using Zoom or StreamYard, whatever the case was. I still did the show with them on the phone. I was in their state. I just wasn't in person, but I was in their state when they did the show with them, and they know they're more than welcome as always to come over here. So shouts out to That's Absurd. Make sure y'all following them. And yeah, Corey, you know what to do.
Hey guys, you can check me out and my crew at the Ameremy Junkies podcast, as well as AmeremyMedia.com. That's AMERIME media.com.
Jamal, he was last.
Yep. Yo, shout out everybody on the panel. Sorry I was late, man. I had a rough night. But yo, Corey, thanks for coming through. Oh, good to see you again.
Thank you very much.
TJ, Lisper, Mayor, appreciate y'all. I'm giving my usual shout outs. Peace to Ishtar, peace to Ill Magic, and Disabled Planets.
Yeah.
Oh,
great show, man. I was really looking forward to it, and it didn't disappoint, man. Shout out to the listeners. Shout out to my brothers in arms. And yeah, man, looking forward to next week.
Yeah, another great show.
It really
Corey.
was a good time.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man.
Me.
Always appreciate you when you come through. Good seeing you, brother. Another great show. We can speak freely and speak our mind. I love it every time. Shout out to our two guys for Veterans Day tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for the service.
Yeah.
Get the free pancakes.
We know what that's about.
and burnt apple steak.
But yeah, man, it's a pleasure talking to you guys every week. Can't wait for next week.
Yeah, great show. wasn't. I like the way that we was a little depressed, but we got into it and we still was able to lift each other up as black men. I appreciate that. We still able to laugh and have a good time, man. And that's what it's about. It's always good to see Corey. Hey, Corey, me and you should since Dan wants people to write some shit, we should write that Nightmare on Elm Street script. You know what I'm saying? Me and you got knowledge of it. I'm down with that.
I mean, fucking Nightmare on Elm Street ain't gonna be that hard.
I'm just what?
Hey, as long as it doesn't as long as it doesn't end up like Leprechaun in the Hood, bro, I'm with y'all.
I'm saying a skin melted child predator with claws.
Oh my goodness!
I know I can do it justice because I know all the lore and all the backstory and everything to make it right. I know Corey understands the process, even if you don't understand that or whatever. He understands the process.
Oh, I'm an avid Nightmare on Elm Street fan.
Okay, so there you go. Let's do this shit. I'll talk to you on the outside.
Freddy Krueger got
still good show.
Freddy Krueger get motherfuckers where they least expect it and they sleep.
Yeah, but it started with kids though, so y'all have fun with that part. Nasty. Anyway, Kurt said my new podcast I'm working on is the Get Off Trump Sackcast, only on Spotify. Funny shit. But yeah, man, I'm glad we finally got this shit done because I've been holding that venom all week. Like I've been on TikTok lives and expressing certain things here and there, but specifically let them know, yo, I'm holding my real shit for Sunday. I'm holding my real shit for Sunday. And I let it be known because that's exactly what it had to be done. Again, if y'all feel a way about this, say it in the comments, whatever, do whatever. But if it triggered you, it's probably because it's you.
A hit dog will holler.
That's it. And they will holler loud, especially like that guy who already fucked around and found out and was on the TikTok video laying in the ground, sleep in the ground, sleep in the grass because he already felt emboldened enough to get knocked the fuck out.
One thing I used to love to say, hey, you ain't got to be afraid of me. Brave motherfuckers get it too.
That's it. But
make sure, yo, and to my peoples out there, man, make sure y'all kiss Abuela before they ship it back to
Damn. Oh, man. All my Dominican spots are going to be closed now. Is that what you're trying to say? I'm not going to be able to get
Matrix.
I don't know where I'm going to get.
I'm not going to get my chuletas. You know what I'm saying? My arroz con pollo. All them spots is closed.
Man, this is going to be the last good holiday I can get coquito.
Oh man,
just kidding.
That's a Puerto Rican thing. That's a Puerto Rican thing.
Jokes.
Yeah,
they might be safe. They might be safe, but yeah, we're now in the season of truly fuck around and find out. And in the immortal words of T.O., get your popcorn ready. And the other immortal words of Iron Mike Tyson. Don't forget, everybody got a plan until they get punched in the face.
Yep.
And on that note,
or the leopard eat your face.
I never thought.